Hi everyone, my name is Gabrielle Flahault. I work for TherapyBox as Predictable Project Manager, and today I will speak about a new exciting feature that we just integrated to Predictable, which is eye tracking. So to begin with, Predictable, for those who don't know this app, Predictable is a text-to-speech app created in 2011. It's available in 10 different languages, and it allows people who have no voice to communicate by typing a message and speaking it. Predictable offers different voice options. So with Predictable, you have the ability to download your own voice. If you created a digital version of your own voice through a cappella or model talker, you have the possibility from the speech settings of Predictable to enter your a cappella or model talker logins and to download your own voice and use it to speak with Predictable. If you didn't create a digital version of your own voice, you can also rely on an iOS voice. So Apple offers a wide range of different voices that are freely available for anyone. So you can just download them from the iPad settings and use them in Predictable. So again, still from the speech settings. So Predictable allows you to speak, but not only. It also allows you to communicate in other ways. So first of all, you can use Predictable through a phone call or a FaceTime call. So it's pretty simple. If you receive a phone call or a FaceTime call, all you need to do is to open Predictable and use it to speak. And so the voice output from coming out from the app will get sent to your conversation partner. So they will hear your Predictable voice. And what is nice with FaceTime is that you can see your conversation partner on the screen while tapping in Predictable, as you can see on this screenshot. In Predictable, you also have the ability to create your own contact list, so adding your contacts, phone numbers, or Apple IDs, and to launch a phone call more easily directly from Predictable. Predictable also offers a sharing functionality. So if you want to communicate with your friends or your family through messages or emails or Facebook Messenger, WhatsApp, whatever. So all depending on what you have on your iPad, you can just type in Predictable and send them to the appropriate app. Predictable also offers a multi-language capacity. So if you speak 2 different languages, you can set up a secondary language and quickly switch between French and English, for example. And so we offer 27 different languages available. So the language include the voice, but also the ability to translate the bank of pre-built phrases and the keyboard. So yeah, when you switch between both languages, so these 3 components just change at the same time. In terms of accessibility, so Predictable is obviously accessible through direct touch, which means that you just need to type directly on your iPad using your fingers to type. So we try to adapt as much as possible to the client, to the user's need. So yes, depending on the motor difficulties that they may have. So we first have force and time delay. So these aim to support direct touch users who are starting to have, let's say, shaky hands, for instance, or like who tend to like misspell some words because they can't control the movement of their hands. So force delay, it's pretty simple. So when this setting is available, there is like a dwell duration And so all you need to do to select a key is to tap and hold the key until the duration is over. So that's force delay. Time delay is similar, but instead of having to hold the key, you just need to tap once, and then the screen is just frozen. And so while the screen is frozen for this dwell duration, even if you select another key, just afterwards, they won't the key won't be taken into account. So that aims to avoid selecting keys that you don't want to select. So that's force and time delay. Then screen tap and switch access. So Predictable has its own inbuilt scanning method. So yeah, the way it works, so we first have a screen tap, allowing you to use the whole screen as a selective switch. So in that case, the scanning is automatic, so different portions of the screen get scanned. And as soon as the key that you want to select is scanned, you can just tap anywhere on the screen. So you don't need to target any keys. You just need to tap anywhere once it's scanned to select. So that's screen tap. And then we have switch access, allowing you to have two different switches, so one to scan the items and the other one to select them. So switch access is also available on automatic mode, and in that case you would only require one switch to select, and the scanning method would be automatic. Then we have head tracking. So head tracking is a functionality that we built last year. So we basically used Apple Face ID recognition technology that is available on all of the iPad Pros, but also iPhone X, iPhone 11, iPhone XR Max. There are a lot now. So these are all the different devices that you can unlock just by looking at your screen. So we took basically the true depth camera of these devices, and we optimized them to make it an access method. So what it does, it just recognizes any human faces. So just two eyes, one nose, one mouth, and basically with this camera you can control Predictable by pointing with your nose. So you still need to move your neck to point the different keys, and then you can use any type of triggers such as blink, smile, frown, open your mouth, tear your tongue out. So that I think 11 face gestures allowing you to trigger a selection. And yes, while pointing with your nose to the correct to the key that you want to select. So that's head tracking. Then we have scan and track. So basically, when we built head tracking, we did then some user testing, and we asked the question to users, asking, okay, is this enough? And the feedback that we got from some of the users is that the problem with this method is that if you can't move your neck to point the different keys on screen, you cannot use this access method. So that's why we designed scan and track, which allows you to combine a scanning method with these face gesture. So you can therefore use an automatic scanning method and blink once the scan is highlighting the key that you want to select. So that's scan and track. Then so we went even further and designed this new feature called gesture speak, allowing you to assign a face gesture, so like a blink or open your mouth, to any action or any phrase that you have pre-built within Predictable. So this allows you, for example, to trigger the phrase "help me please" with a face gesture such as "open your mouth." So gesture speak also allows you to create recipes. So if you can move your eyebrows and your eyes only, and you can't open your mouth, you can then create recipes. So you can have help assigned to a blink, and then you can have the speak button to be triggered by a blink and the eyebrows up. So these are the recipes that you can do. And so this is even faster than typing. So it's actually helpful for any of our predictable users, because you don't blink. You don't type as fast as you blink. So that's why any of our predictable users can use this feature. And finally, and most exciting one, so predictable can now be used via eye tracking. So as you can see on this video, so we recently integrated the Hiru eye tracking method. So Hiru from Irisbond, which is a Spanish company. And so it's basically an external eye tracking camera that you can plug to your iPad Pro. So that's something to bear in mind, is that you need both an iPad Pro and a Hiru eye tracker device. So you just need to plug the eye tracker, and then there is an inbuilt calibration. So if you go to the iPad settings in the accessibility section, there is a calibration screen allowing you to see how well you are positioned, how well you are positioned depending on how you position your eye tracking camera, and allowing you just to calibrate the device. So you just have 5 points to follow on screen, so that the camera just manage to track the pupils of your eyes more easily. What is nice is that as it can be used on the iPad Pro, it allows you to combine both cameras. So as there are two cameras, so the Hiru eye tracking camera just here, and the iPad camera, which is here, you can therefore combine the face gesture that we just mentioned previously and this eye tracking feature. So if you have eye tracking on dual duration, as it is at the moment, you just need to point the different keys on screen with your eyes to select them. And as soon as you open your mouth or as soon as you blink, you can also trigger a quick sentence such as "help me please" or "I need help" or whatever. So we are currently in the testing phase of this feature. So we basically integrated the Irisbond API to Predictable, and we are now sharing this testing version to as many people as we can to collect feedback and see how we can improve this functionality even further. So if you are willing to try this out, please get in touch with us, and we will send you a test version of Predictable. And if you're based in the UK, we could also arrange a loan kit, so sending you just an iPad with the Irisbond eye tracker as well. And that's pretty it. So thank you very much for watching this video, and hopefully we'll get in touch very soon.
Hi there, thank you for choosing to listen to my presentation about Dasher and how we've implemented it for the first time in an AAC app. My name's Brad Jordan. I joined the Therapy Books team this year after finishing my studies in computer science, and as a quick introduction to Dasher, it's an innovative text entry method whereby you can use one continuous flowing gesture to write your text. That probably doesn't make sense right now, but I promise it will soon. The AAC app, which we've used to implement Dasher, is our text-to-speech app Predictable, and I'll tell you some more details about that as well. To start with though, I'll give you a brief overview of Therapy Books. I'll tell you who we are and what we do before diving into those predictable details. Then I'll show you Dasher itself and you can see how it works before a quick video demonstration of how we've integrated it within Predictable. Then I'll talk a little bit about who Dash is for and how it's useful before finishing off with what's in store for the future of the project. So, at TherapyBox, we make apps and technology with the aim of making life easier for those that use them. With a focus on AAC apps, our first release was Predictable in 2011, and since then we've continued to iterate upon and improve Predictable, which is now on its sixth version, as well as creating other apps such as Seen and Heard, a scene-based AAC app, and Chatable, a symbol-based one. We've also done research projects involving speech and linguistic data, as well as collaborating with NGOs on multiple international projects. You can find out much more information about all this stuff on our website at therapy-box.co.uk. Please check it out. So, some more detail about one app in particular, Predictable. Predictable is a text-to-speech AAC app with the aim of making the whole process of using a keyboard or text-to-speech easy and as quick as possible. One of the main ways this is achieved is via the phrase bank, in which the user can store all their phrases that they find useful or say most commonly, and sort them into categories as well. There are also multiple access methods you can use to access Predictable, such as scanning, either with screen tapping or a manual switch. There's gesture recognition, head tracking, and most recently, eye tracking, which is super exciting. You're also able to customize the appearance of the app to quite some extent. On the right here, you can see a screenshot of the main screen of the app, which I'll just do a quick run through so you can see how it should work. In the top left, you've got the history strip, which is where things you've been saying recently are stored, so you can easily repeat things. And in the top right is quick access to your favorites category. The white space below that is the message window where your message will be typed. And to the right of that, you've got some customizable feature keys. By default, so the ones there are the speak button, the share button, settings, and then a couple of buttons to delete your message. One by word and one for the whole message. Below that, you've got that blue strip of predictions just above the keyboard for word predictions. Then you've got the keyboard itself, and then some more customizable feature keys in the bottom right. The phrase bank is accessible by those three horizontal lines. So what is Dasher? This GIF on the right might look scary at first, but I promise it's really cool. So like I said, you're using a single continuous gesture to write your text. In this case, the cursor position indicates the direction that you're driving Dasher in. It's currently being worked on by a team of international volunteers. So just to talk more about this GIF, you can see all the letters on the right and you're sort of zooming into them. How it works is the letters are laid out alphabetically from top to bottom. So towards the top you would find A and towards the bottom Z. And letters that are more likely to be next are bigger. So an H after T and then after that an E to make the word the would be super easy to hit because they all come in a nice big sequence. Again, looking at this GIF, you're zooming into the right and just aiming for the letters you want. I'll show you how it works within Predictable with this short video. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that video. Some key things to take from it are that, again, the letters are organized from top to bottom alphabetically, with more likely letters appearing larger. Another thing is that you can customize the speed of Dasher from the settings, so once you start to get to grips with how Dasher works, you can really speed up that typing process. Another thing is that you can just cut through the letters of other boxes. It only matters where you end up. Letters are selected once they move past that middle point, so you really can just cut across whatever you need to get to where you need to go. Some other things to bear in mind are that, as well as the direct touch and head tracking access options that you saw in the video, you're also able to use Dasher with a Bluetooth mouse, which can be a very fast option. Experienced Dasher users can type at 39 words per minute using a mouse and Dasher. And recently, due to the addition of eye tracking, you're also able to use eye tracking with Dasher, which again has the potential to be a really fast option. So our goal here was to firstly replace the predictable keyboard with Dasher as a text entry method, but we also wanted to keep the features and buttons that predictable users will be familiar with. So if I skip to a part where you can see the main screen. So as you can see, this is the main screen. The keyboard has been replaced by Dasher, but what we still have in the top left is our history strip, and the top right our favorite strip. We still have our message window and the feature keys that people are hopefully familiar with when using Predictable. Our goal, like I said, was to try and keep as many features in Predictable as possible, so you have the best of both Dasher and Predictable. But who's Dasher for? So firstly, Dasher's fast and fun and also works in any language. Those characters can be replaced by characters from any alphabet. It's operable with one or no hands, so via eye tracking, no hands are needed. With a mouse or direct touch, just one hand is needed. And it's suitable whenever a keyboard cannot be used. So that could be due to accessibility reasons or simply if you're just using a small device. The main benefit of Dasher is that you require minimal input, but you're still retaining those high rates of text entry. So, what's next for Dasher and Predictable? Well, this was just the first iteration. We're currently planning more development for it and collecting feedback on the current version. To that end, I'd really love to hear from you if you want to try it out or you want to provide feedback. You can get in touch on Facebook at tboxapps or on Twitter at therapybox, or you can just email me at support@therapy-box.co.uk. If you want to try it, Dasher, or provide feedback, I'd be really grateful if you got in touch, and I'm really looking forward to hearing from you. Our goals for the future are to include more predictable features in that main screen, so making the blend and work between the two apps as seamless and easy to use as possible. But we want to, like I said, retain as much of the predictable feel as we can while getting the full benefit of Dasher. Okay, that about rounds off my presentation. Thank you so much for listening. Like I said, please don't hesitate to get in touch if you'd like to try out Dasher. I encourage you to do so. It's fun and cool. I think you should also have access to these slides. So I've just listed a few resources, the Dasher website, our website, and our support email address. If you don't have these slides, feel free to reach out. I'll provide them. And also, if you've got any other questions at all, as well as, like I said, wanting to try out Dasher, please get in touch. Thanks again, and I'm looking forward to hearing from you.